Hello and a very good evening to you from the Bukit Jalil National Stadium in Kuala Lumpur. It's the second round of matches in Group B. Indonesia take on Singapore in a vital game for the Indonesians in particular after a massively disappointing draw against the winners of the competition, Laos, and that was only because they got a late goal. Now we're down to 10 men, Indonesia, and that will affect their lineup today. Singapore, a fantastic 3-0 hammering of arch rivals Malaysia, the biggest victory against their neighbours since 1990 away from home. So spirits are high in that team, and a win here would secure their passage to the next round. So of course, those 3 points, all important for both teams. As is customary, of course, now, national anthems.
Singapura dan seterusnya lagu kebangsaan Singapura.
Well, this stadium can hold 100,000 people. The Bukit Jalil National Stadium, unfortunately, not that many. Not surprising, given that these are two teams not the host nation. But it still will be a good atmosphere. Plenty of Indonesians and Singaporeans work in KL. I'm sure some have also made the trip. The officials today, Ali Hassan from Bahrain. His assistant is Aziz Ali Hassan. The other assistant referee, Kim Yong-ha from Korea. Eung Kai Lam is from Hong Kong. There's the fourth official. There you go. That's a great view of the stadium. Unfortunately, empty, but Malaysia will be in action a little bit later on. Let's have a look at the Indonesian lineup. They've got big problems right at the very back. Wahyu Tri has to come in for the suspended goalkeeper Endra Pratsaya, who got sent off in that first match against Laos, where they scored a resultant penalty. The problem for Indonesia is they only have one extra keeper, so there will be an outfield player as the reserve keeper. For Singapore, it's an unchanged lineup except for the fact that Saiful Essa got injured, which means that Daniel Bennett will move to his more comfortable left back position, and we'll have the substitute who replaced Saiful Essa in that last game, Irwan Shah. He will move to right back in all likelihood. Radhi Abramovich, the outgoing coach of Singapore, boy would he love to leave on a winning note. He's come in for some criticism for Singapore's lackluster World Cup campaign, and this would be the best way to answer his critics and leave with a legacy. He's already won 2 AFF Suzuki Cup championships. If he gets a third, he'll be the first coach to have done so, and Singapore would have 4 in total as a record among Southeast Asian nations. Nil Maizar is the coach for Indonesia, relatively new to the scene in comparison to his counterpart. Singapore riding high at the moment. The press have been very, very happy with them. Not something you often hear in Singapore, I can tell you that, when it comes to the national team. Keep an eye out for Rafael Maitimo, the Dutch-born Indonesian. There are a few of them now in the squad. Tony Kusal is one of them. He's not available though. He's got a thigh injury. And Johnny van Boekering also not playing today. They've also got Irfan Bakhtim, who Dutch-born. The striker missed some gilt-edged chances in that match against Laos. So there'll be some good matchups here. Rafael up against Shadan Sulaiman. Singapore looked very composed throughout the game against Malaysia, even in the second half when the Malaysians predictably came at them after being 2 goals down at half-time. The pitch isn't the best, as you can see close up there. Singapore do have a good passing game, but they also combine well with set pieces. The delivery, very important now. What's interesting here is that Irwan Shah has been maintained on the left. They've kept Daniel Bennett on the right-hand side. A little bit of a surprise. All the speculation was Bennett would move to the left, where he is far more adept. Also plays centre-back for his club, SAF FC. But it's apart from Shahril Ishak, who's of course the 2-goal hero, Singapore's scoring sensation, has been fantastic for them in the Lions 12 team, which plays in Malaysia, ironically enough. Plays in the Malaysia Super League. Apart from that, it was the 2 holding midfielders of Mustafik Farudin and Haris Harun. It's a bit of a defensive base that Radhi Abramovich builds from. But he's got fantastic attacking players, apart from Shahril Ishak and Khairul Amri. Keep an eye out for Shadan Sulaiman, who's one of the most naturally talented players in the Singapore setup. Singapore have been criticised in the past for using foreign-born players in the squad today. Shijai, Mustafik Farudin, Daniel Bennett start. Just 3, as opposed to some of the old days where they had up to 7 of them in the starting lineup. That's a long ball forward. That's not the best of clearances by Irwan Shah. I'm sure there are a few nerves for the youngster. So he's experienced much bigger crowds than this in the Malaysia Super League, so he should adjust quickly. Foul there on Khairul Amri. So this was the incident. Ball kicked away. He looks like a no-nonsense sort of referee, Ali Hassan Ibrahim, and he's just had a bit of a talking there to Tofik. Basically said, behave yourself or you will get a card. Now, the standing keeper. Wayu Tri Nugrono. It's a decent ball in, by the way. The outfield player who's been named as the standing keeper is Cornelis Sergius Geddy, and I'm sure he'll be really hoping. He's a forward, by the way, just to let you know. So he'll be hoping not to get called up today. See the idea there. Very assured defenders in Baihaki Kaizan, who's extremely experienced. But even more impressive. I think is Safwan Baradin. Just a wee lad, but he is precocious beyond his years. Good cross in. This one, Mahmoud came for it, but it was cleared. Oh, that's a pull back pass, and it could be a chance. Oh, that's very unlucky for Indonesia. Ismail Mahmoud perhaps did enough. That was a lapse in concentration. Poor, and another bad clearance there. Well, that's a bad 60 seconds for Singapore there. You can see why Ismail Mahmoud's upset with his defenders. Just saying how comfortable they looked on the ball. Well, this wasn't quite as bad as the back pass. I think it was Daniel Bennett. This wasn't it. Well, this is another angle of that second shot. That's a bit of a let-off there for Singapore. It's a very inexperienced team, by the way, that Indonesia have here. You take away the captain Eli Aiboy, who's got about 47 caps, and the veteran Bambang Pamungkas at 32 with 84 caps. And the next two players with lots of caps, by the way, are Octavianus Maniani, who's got 19, and Irfan Bakhtim, I spoke about him earlier, who's got 18. Everyone else is in single figures, and that's partly because this team is handicapped by the loss of players deemed ineligible for plying their trade in the rogue Indonesian Super League. That's why they've started to look for players who play for elsewhere. It's not the best of corners. Mustafik does well, but no, did he touch the ball there, Harris? No, will he get a card? Oh dear. Early card for Haris Harun. I think he went over the ball. He missed it. Honest player he is. Vendry, who got the equaliser, was the one brought down. Very coolly done again from Safwan Baradin. Tofik. Haven't seen much from Irfan. That's a nice run from Maniani. Eli Boy won't get to that. They've looked good down that left-hand side in particular. It's drizzling now in Kuala Lumpur, which I'm sure will add to the spectacle. The keepers will have to be very aware of this. I always find it a strange time to be playing a regional championship when it's just at the start of this monsoon season in Southeast Asia. Very well done there by Daniel Bennett, who finds Khairul Amri. This is Mustafik now. Try to roll that towards Shujai. Tawfiq again. No real chances for Singapore yet. Indonesia have looked the slightly more threatening of the two. Indonesia are known as the perennial bridesmaids. 4 finals they've been to. Haven't won any of them. They would dearly love to win this competition. They came close, I guess, the last time against Malaysia. They were expected to win against a side they had beaten 2 out of the 3 times they met. They met twice in the final and once in the group stage. They hammered them in the group stage 5-1. But in the final they lost on aggregate. So very, very disappointing. And it was in front of their home crowd as well. Singapore have got an excellent record against Indonesia. Unbeaten in their last 6 AFF encounters. That's 4 Singapore wins and 2 draws, so they would certainly want to continue. This is Khairul Ishak. Khairul Ishak, the first time we've really seen him on the ball. Hasn't got too much support now, but gets to the byline. Oh, it's a slip here. Was that a trip on the ball? Singapore players certainly thought there was something. Haris Harun, so cool on the ball. Here's Khairul Amri. Return ball to Haris. Decent ball in. Singapore just going up a notch. Well, that was a first real talking point for Singapore going forward. Was there a foul by Fakhruddin? This was the cross. It was dealt with by Rafael. Guillermo Eduardo Maitimo. As I said, Indonesian born of Dutch heritage. Plays in the lower leagues for VV Capel. Can't clear their lines yet, Indonesia. Let's come through. This could be a chance. Khairul Ishak knows that's their first real opportunity, perhaps. Could he have stabbed that? A timely intervention. The rain is really driving down here in Kuala Lumpur. This was the opportunity. It was a nice knockdown from Baihaki Kaizan. Maybe that one touch too many. Rafael did just enough. Could he have taken a first-time shot? Haris Harun. Here's Eli Boy. Terrific pace from the veteran. 33 years of age now. Captain of the team. It's not the best of crosses from Shujai. When he wins the ball back though, makes up for it. Just try to thread that through to Shadan Sulaiman. Shadan, I think, was perhaps looking for that, which prompted this response from Tofik. Free kick here, Shajayi. Oh, that almost fell kindly to Khairul Amri. It'll be a Singapore corner. They've suddenly turned it on here. Shajayi to take it now. Not the best of corners. Oh dear. Worrying times for Indonesia at the near post. Radi had thought they'd gone in. I think that was by Haki Kaizan at the near post. Perhaps it was Khairul Amri. We'll just take a look at that again. Wasn't all that far away, was it? These aren't easy conditions to play, and the pitch will become heavy. It's not in good condition anyway. Harris trying to find Shahril Ishak there. Singapore now really asserting themselves well. Here's Irwan Shah. Trying to get the cross in. Eli Boy just got caught under his feet. Offside. It was right on the shoulder there. Rahmat Shamsuddin. Safwan here with the free kick, and well, this picture right now shows you just how heavy it is. Not easy for these guys, I can tell you that. Mike Wong there next to Radi Abramovich, the assistant coach. I think Indonesia will look to try and slow things down a little bit. Neil Mazar had spoken about his problem with Endra, the goalkeeper, being suspended. He was very concerned that if anything happens to Wahyu today, what happens next? So as I said, it's Cornelius Sergius Gedi who's on the bench. He knows, of course, for his team that a win against Singapore would be crucial to his side's hopes of progression to the last four. Malaysia will be going all guns blazing today. There's Irfan Bakhtir. Haven't seen anything from him so far. Yeah, Indonesia will be... Malaysia will definitely be targeting a win. I think you'd have to expect they would beat Laos today. Which then means if Indonesia win, it would mean three of the sides are on 3 points each. And it will come down to that final game, and that's where Singapore would have the luck of the draw because they have Laos last. And it would mean one out of Malaysia or Indonesia would go through. Bennett. Pace of the game has dropped dramatically. Neil Mazar hoped for a good performance by his players and a better result than the one they got against Laos. He did talk about the confidence that Singapore have got after that excellent win against Malaysia. He felt that they're a strong team with good experienced players. He still hoped that his players will put in the necessary performance. But of course, that hoodoo that Indonesia have never beaten Singapore in this competition, as we've spoken about. He says he doesn't want to talk about that, doesn't want to focus on it. For him, what's important is how they play. The problem for him, of course, is that, as I mentioned, the two Dutch players, or two Dutch-born players, Tony Kassel and Johnny van Bukkering, both nursing injuries. They were thought to be 50-50, but it hasn't worked out. They are looking threatening, aren't they, Singapore? Set pieces, balls into the area, very, very dangerous. Here's Harris again. Shadan goes back towards Irwan Shah. Singapore measured and cool on the ball so far. Well, that was a little bit casual there from Baihaki. A little too casual. Indonesia almost pounced. There's been a couple of instances of that so far. Just need to be careful of that. Now, it's a good run from Shahralissa. Look how deep he is. No one shouted men on, that's why he's annoyed. He had an overlapping run. He was about to make the pass, but no one came to help him out. And again, look at how slow they are. Eli Aiboy goes for goal. That was the wrong option. Again, Singapore just a little too overconfident, perhaps. Eli Aiboy used to be very fast, but he's 32. Irwan Shah should be getting there first. He does this time. Mike Wong, the assistant, I just spoke about him earlier, he did admit that Singapore were not at their sharpest coming into this tournament. It was the first solid goal and the first real test of Izwan, who did well, got down to that shot from Vendry. Sharp save, near post, you'd expect him to make that. Actually, that might have gone wide anyway. It may not have been on target. Eli Aiboy with the corner. Oh dear, that skip past Shujai could have been the conditions that they're facing. Just been a couple of instances now where Singapore ought to be doing a little better than they are in defence. When they're not under pressure, they're making mistakes. That's a shocking mistake, really, from Shujai. Indonesia have yet to take advantage. Yes, as I was saying, Mike Wong admitted Singapore were not at their sharpest coming into this tournament, but he did feel that this was their chance. Somehow they would do well. Now, edge of the area. Foul from Wayu. We use Sutanto, by the way. The other guy in goal is called Y3 Nugrono. Sutanto gets a yellow card. Let's have a look at the foul. Yeah, definite body check just outside the area. Sometimes I find these are a little bit difficult because they're a little too far away. Too close, rather, to the goal for the free kick specialists to do much. They've gone for the short one. Oh, good save from Wayu. Best chance for Singapore. Shadan Sulamba with the shot on the edge of the area. No one on him whatsoever. He had plenty of time. And through the sea of players, Wayu did well. No pressure on the keeper from Sharon Ishak, but that was best chance for both teams now. Both keepers now have made a save. Yes, Mike Wong had said that they've made quite a lot of changes from the last AFF Suzuki Cup. A lot of young players in the squad. And even some of the more experienced players like Haris Harun and the China-born striker Chu Li, even though they're experienced, this is the first time they're playing in this tournament. But he was very happy with the balance of youth and experience. Rade Abramovich had spoken about wanting Singapore to dictate play. Mustafek's done brilliantly here. Very, very well done. Shujai. Khairul has gone wide on that right-hand side. Oh, he tried to bring it through for Shujai, but well, the ball slipped away, and again the conditions playing their part. Bennett furious at that challenge. Look at the difference in size between Maniani and Daniel Bennett. He's 5'0", Maniani. This is where they're the most dangerous, Singapore, these set pieces. It's a nice even game at the moment between Singapore and Indonesia. Singapore just beginning to assert themselves after a little bit of a slow start. Here's Shadan. Eli Iboy going for the long ball. Horace will mop up here. Irwan Shah, poor control from him. As I said, a lot of unforced errors from Singapore at the moment. Yes, Rade Abramovich felt that controlling play, like they did against Malaysia, is the key here. And he said that he looked at the Indonesia squad list. And he said they've got some older players with the experience of playing this tournament, and they've got some players not originally from Indonesia, but they can bring quality to this team. And they've got some other young players as well. So he said it's an interesting team, as it is with most of the teams we face. They do respect them, They were trying to play the game their own way. Daniel Bennett trying to force his way through. Charles Schuck wins a header. Carroll gave up the chase there. Here's Mustafik. Good ball to the path of Carroll Amri. Now waiting for the cross. We've decided to delay it. Here's Daniel Bennett. Not the best cross, but it falls nicely. Sujayi! Did that take a hit off someone? No, it didn't. That's a poor shot then from the China-born midfielder. Well, he was completely unmarked on the edge of the box. Absolutely no one on him. That's a poor effort, really poor effort. From there, you'd expect him to put it at least on target. Indonesia gone surprisingly quiet at the moment. Wide to Iboy. It's been just a disappointing. It's a good turn from Charles Ishak. Needs support though. Is he going to go on his own? Here comes Irwan Shah. Or rather, Shadad Sulaiman. Hasn't got anyone here to help him just yet. Breaks down. That's disappointing from Singapore, but Indonesia launch a counter-attack with Eli Iboy. Here's one Maboon. Saw the danger quickly. Irwan Shah seemed to take an age to get up there and support Charles Ishak, but that was a dangerously high line they played. Half an hour gone here at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. AFF Suzuki Cup. Indonesia 0, Singapore 0. Fascinating game so far, with Indonesia started the strong of the two, but Singapore have powered back in and have come closest to scoring. Indonesia conceding a lot of unnecessary fouls. And they really ought to know better, given that Singapore's strength are these set pieces. They're pointing to the ref. They want the players 10 yards back. Going for goal. That came off the stanchion, by the way, not the post. Shadad Sulaiman with the shot. Singapore certainly the stronger of the two sides now. Just the side of the post. You just saw a shot of Irfan Bahtin. And how he fancied Dutch-born striker. He has done nothing in this game so far. And that's also because he's not really getting the service. Just evaded Shadad. They're quite happy to play these long balls at the moment, and given the height of the Singapore centre-backs, it's a tactic that has not paid off so far for Indonesia. Plenty of long balls in. Haris Arun. Turn ball not good enough. He felt he was impeded. Haris. Actually, quite a little bit of skill there from Vendry. Nice layoff there to Shadad. who ran into Fakhruddin. Yeah, we finally do see a touch from Irfan Bakhdim. It's really been all Singapore. They've not offered anything going forward for the last 15 minutes or so, Indonesia, if not longer. The rain has stopped, I think. No, it hasn't actually. Just not quite as heavy. They asked for a foul, they didn't get it. Singapore, and then Indonesia felt there was a handball. Also didn't get that decision. I don't think that was the right decision there. Irwan Shah could have cleared that. Safwan Baradin came across him, and it's now an Indonesian corner. They've put themselves unnecessarily under pressure. Defended that well again, Singapore. Maniani, it's done well. That's a pretty poor cross. Got himself into a good position. Have to deliver the cross from there. No pressure as well. I think there's an incident off the ball here. Is that Haris Harun? Well, they better be a little careful here, Singapore. Rani Abramovich was asked about the midfield players who did well against Malaysia by an Indonesian reporter. He didn't even name names, but Rani said he knew exactly what he was talking about. He said, I'm lucky to have Haris Harun and Mustafik Fakhruddin. They've done a great job for us. In them, we have two players who are really responsible and hard working. He's just limping here. That's a real worry. The natural replacement, well, you'd think it'd have to be Isa Halim. And perhaps less likely for Daus Kasman. Isa Halim is certainly a very defensive-minded player. Just wonder whether they might put on someone slightly more attacking, maybe even someone like a Chu Lee. And push Shujai into the centre of midfield. We'll have to see if Haris Harun is not ready to come back on. Currently in Singapore with 10 men. Very well done by Shujai. Karen Lumley's been pretty quiet so far in this game. It's not a good ball. He's looked a bit nervous, hasn't he? Why you? Even Singapore goalkeeper Ismail Mahmoud said that Harris and Faridin did a good job of cleaning up in front of defence, and he said with players of that quality in front of me I have peace of mind. It's certainly been the case so far. They've not threatened enough, Indonesia, the quality they've got. Slightly surprising that Andeng Vermansyah, who was so tricky on the right hand side for Indonesia against Laos, he's on the bench. Here's Irfan. Poor ball. You can hear the groans from the Indonesian crowd. A draw may be enough for Singapore to have 1 foot in the door. And that might give a chance to some of the other squad players and rest some of the others. Well, Alexander Duric has come on. I think Haris Harun has had to go off. This is a huge blow for the side. Yes, it is. Oh dear, that's a massive blow for Singapore. What that means is Shujai probably goes into the middle. Kara Labri will go onto the right-hand side, I think. We'll have to wait and see. Oh dear, looking for Duric. Duric scored a goal. 42-year-old, by the way. Still able to play at international level, but he's still banging the goals in. He got the 3rd goal for Singapore against Malaysia. Remember now, they don't have the defensive cover. I wonder where he's going to be playing. Is it defensive midfielder? We'll have to see. He's certainly playing a withdrawn role at the moment. Singapore just having to adjust to this. Five minutes left in the first half. Well, let's just hope from Singapore's point of view it's a precautionary move for Haris Harun. They may not even have him play in the next game against Laos, just to rest him up for the semi-finals, if they get through. Here's Mustafik. It's a good ball to Saril. Oh, it's a heavy touch from Duric. Certainly more attacking lineup from Radi Abramovic. More enterprising from him, but will it mean that Singapore under more pressure? Not at the moment with balls like that. Here's Mustafik. Still trying to see how they're setting up here. Much was made in the press about the 2 destroyers. And yet, one of them is now gone. Must be serious enough for them to feel he can't play, given he's so key to Singapore's needs. Oh, that was a slippy ball. A pretty speculative effort there from Novan Sasongko. The bounce just in front of Izwan, and in this kind of conditions he's done as good as he can, really. Goal now for Indonesia will be really good for them. Karen Humphrey's done his bit there. Karen Humphrey bumped off the ball there. Maniani saying, what did I do wrong? Not happy. Let's see if this is shoulder to shoulder. Nah, it's into the back, isn't it? Can't really be complaining too much about that. Looks like Shadan Sulaiman may have just gone into the middle. Perhaps it's Khairul Amri now. That's a foul. And Shujai. Novan with the challenge. To his fair, he didn't milk that at all. Yeah, there was definitely a boot left in there, wasn't there? Don't think there was too much in there, malice-wise. So this is a dangerous position now for Indonesia. Singapore, can they score? Now some of the Malaysian fans beginning to wander in. Shot here! Over the bar by Haki Kaizan. He's so good at these. Got into a good position there. Certainly rose above everyone else. Singapore having the lion's share of the chances so far. Indonesia, 2 shots on goal as far as I can recall. Couple of added minutes. They seem to be the first to everything at the moment. They're certainly the better of the two sides as of now. And for a team that definitely needs to win, Indonesia have to put up a much better second half performance. Bambang Pamungkas might come on. Anding Vermansyah, they'll be the two players, two attacking players you'd think. Let's see which of them turns up at the start of the second half, if at all. Certainly got to applaud Radi Abramovic for being enterprising. He could have opted for a defensive midfielder, a like-for-like change with either Isa Halim or Firdaus Kazman to come on. He opted for an attacking substitution. So we can confirm it now. It looks like Shadan Sulaiman has moved into the centre of midfield along with Mustafik, so that's a lot more creativity coming through the middle. Khairul Amri, who does play on the left as well, has moved down that side. Hasn't had much of the ball. It's a very, very attacking lineup now for Singapore, much more than earlier. It's a good ball, just too much on it. Singapore are just falling at this final third. This first 45 has flown by as Ali Hassan Ibrahim calls time. Singapore, they're far happier the two sides, I think. They've kept the ball well, they've pressured, they've won challenges, and they've had more chances. Indonesia have a lot to do if they need those 3 vital points to stay in the competition. Half-time here then at the Bukit Jalil Stadium. It's Indonesia 0, Singapore 0. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Guilty perhaps of a little overconfidence at times, but they are playing well against a team they have never lost to in this competition in 6 previous matches. 4 wins and 2 draws. Singapore with a population of 5 million, Indonesia with more than 200 million people. It is David and Goliath in many ways. They are, though, in a slight disadvantage. They've lost one of their talismanic players, Haris Harun, the youngster in centre of midfield has been taken off with a suspected, I think it was an ankle injury. He joins the treatment room, which already has Saiful Essa in there. He had a left ankle sprain against Malaysia. He was rated as 50-50 for the game, but in the end has not been even put on the bench. Well, Radi Abramovich, his coach, had said they're not too worried about that because they feel Irwan Shah has done well in games before, and he hoped that he would continue to play that way. He's done all right at the back on the left. It was thought that perhaps Daniel Bennett would move to the favoured left-hand position, but he stayed on the right. And so far Singapore have looked pretty confident. Can't see any changes yet from the Indonesians, who resorted to the long ball quite a lot of the time. They were penned into their own half for large periods of that first half. Alexander Duric has now come on. Safwan Baradin. They've looked the part so far, Singapore. That was largely down to the two men, Harris and Mustafik, in the first 40 minutes or so, where they, just like in the first game, they were tireless in a 90-minute shift against Malaysia. They successfully dealt with the threat provided by Malaysia's highly rated attacking trio of Safi Salih, who was completely anonymous, by the way. Good tackle there by Daniel Bennett, and the eye-boy bearing down on the left-hand side. He was on the right in the first half. Well, Andik Vermansyah comes on, who is very impressive on the right against Laos. The captain has been taken off. I really am struggling to understand why you'd have 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes on the board, and then make that substitution. Why not just start the half like that? Anyway, Andik Vermansyah is on. He will be a bigger handful than you think. He's a speedy man. Quick turn and pace, diminutive, but he's one of Indonesia's better performers, particularly against Laos. Will he go on the left or right? We'll have to see. Straight at Iswan Mahmud. Singapore are the only team in the competition with a clean sheet so far. Of course, Group A have already played 2 rounds of games. Singapore have played just one, but it looks solid. Even after 1 round, they were the only team with a clean sheet. Just failing to control that Shadan Sulaiman as Indonesia come pouring back. And a poor ball. You could just see Neil Maizar saying, "Come on, guys, take it easy." This is Shahril Ishak, who has shown his trickery from time to time, but probably wants a bit more of the ball. It looks like Kyra Lumbury's moved to the left-hand side. Yes, Safi Salih, Noshar Idlan, Talaha and Shafiq Rahim, who are the highly rated trio, were held back as Mustafik and Harris snapped into challenges and mopped up for the defence, but they're not here now, remember that. That's a great challenge there by Safwan, but Indonesia still on the ball. Rahmat. Oh, Baihaki has given away a free kick in a good position for Indonesia. Foul and Rahmat. Just a little bump. Wasn't much in that. Can Indonesia do something here? Just looking at instructions there from the coach. He's just trying to sort his wall out. It's not the best from Vendry. Here's Maitimo, who made his debut against Laos and scored. But he won't get to the ball this time. Gone out of play. Was there another foul there? Yes, it was. Duric, with that physical presence of his, can't quite get there. Flicked on. Took a while to make that decision, didn't he, the referee? Another free kick. Are they going to go for goal? It did look like it. Wasn't a great shot, was it? Here's Shannon Sulaiman. Just plays it through to Karel Amri. Just behind for Shujai. Very relaxed, almost languid approach by Singapore at the moment. A little shove there, wasn't too much in that, to be honest with you, from Wayu. And the other Wayu now having to good position here for Singapore. Shannon Sulaiman, good ball! No one could get on the end of it. Really nice ball bent in. But now Indonesia come pouring back. Has that bitten the offside trap? The flag went a long time ago. I think they played that trap to perfection. Let's have another look at that though. See if the assistant got that right. Yes, I think he did just. Well, they stepped forward just in time. was a really good free kick, and Singapore just left themselves a bit exposed. Indonesia would feel disappointed by that. Lots of niggly fouls in this second half. Down the line towards Irfan. Haven't seen much of him at all. There'll be a corner though. That's better from him. Bit of a celebrity now, Irfan, ever since he moved to Indonesia. Married a model girlfriend and is often endorsing plenty of products on TV. Here's Bambang Pamungkas, the most experienced member of the side. The veteran now at 32 years of age replaces Rahmat, who's been pretty quiet so far. Bambang can still turn it on, and that's got the crowd going. They love him. '84 caps now. There was some thought that he might actually start this game. Four corners to three for Indonesia. He's a former teammate of Baihaki Kaizan, by the way, Bambang. They both played together at Persija Jakarta during the 2010 Indonesia Super League season. I think there'll be another free kick here. Silly challenges going in. Yeah, just a little clip from Shadan, no doubt. Bambang would be the key man here. He's outstanding in the air. Good sharp turn in the penalty and ruthless finishing. He had a very poor 90 minutes so against the pesky Laotian defence. Here's Taufik. Again, handled very well by the Singapore defence. Irwan Shah clears. And you contrast that with Baihaki, who shackled Nur Sharul and Safi very, very well. Looks like Octavius and Andik have been switching the wings to give the fullbacks plenty to think about. They haven't troubled them so far. It was thought that Andik would actually start ahead of Eli Boy, so that was just a surprise. He just celebrated his 21st birthday before that match against Laos. He destroyed the Laos left-back time and again, creating chances at will for forwards Bambang and Irfan, who unfortunately, as I said, had poor evenings in front of goal. Missed numerous chances, particularly Irfan, two gilt-edged opportunities. So far, he's been kept very, very quiet indeed. Here comes Djuric. Trying to have the quick cross, and I'm not sure that was the right option. Looking a little bit slow at the moment, a little bit leggy, the 42-year-old. Here is Djuric now. Tries to turn. He's done really well. Just not enough on that ball for Shahrul Ishak. But after weathering a little bit of pressure from Indonesia, it's Singapore's turn now. A draw would give them 4 points, and they would be top of the table no matter what happens in the other game. Even Malaysia hammer Laos, they'll only have 3 points. Offside, says Ali Hassan. That is not offside at all. That's a terrible decision. That wasn't even remotely offside. Oh dear. Well, Singapore were in a very, very good position there. And I'm afraid Aziz Ali Hassan has got that completely wrong. Here's Shujai. Daniel Bennett launches it forward. Oh, that's a bad challenge. Bad challenge. The referee has to stop play here. Kyle Lamry, who does get injured very often, will be just a little bit concerning now for Singapore. My team has said, no, that's not good. Leg right across him. He fell awkwardly as well. That's going to hurt. Just be jarred by that. He should be fine. Yellow card for Maniani. He didn't get back 10 yards. I think the referee's got that right. Another really silly yellow card, to be honest. Octavius Maniani then with the yellow card. Mustafik launches it forward. It's not the best. Good for Wayu. That's silly from Baihaki and Wayu. They get yellow card. Very silly. Absolutely no reason for Baihaki to grab onto the goalkeeper. For a central defender, shouldn't be conceding cards like that. I think that might have because Wayu had a leg up earlier. I'm afraid it's not been a very good performance so far from Duric. He's heavy touches. Another yellow card. Mirwan Shah now. Oh, raining down with bookings. Got to be a bit careful here. That was a very late challenge on Andik. Interesting psychological blow. It's just maybe just let Hendrik know he's there. Did Singapore deal with these very, very well. Fairly Shak, poor pass from him. It's not been the best quality second half like it was in the first, which had plenty of chances, very entertaining. It's been a much more cagey second half. They're asking, look for Bambang. There he is with the touch. It's got a little bit scrappy as well now. Needs a bit of quality this game. Again, he fails there, Djuric, blaming everyone else. Irwan Shah said he didn't do anything, and the assistant here, this could be another card. It's another card, it is a sending off, it's a massive blow for Singapore. After just conceding a yellow within 5 minutes, he's conceded another one, Irwan Shah. And that's a huge blow for Singapore. And in the longer run, that's 2 left backs now who have gone, because if Saiful Essa doesn't recover, Irwan Shah is the other one. There's nothing he can do. Let's have a look at this. And it was a late challenge, no doubt about it. Onandik, who's a tricky customer, certainly clipped the heels. He was looking for that, but it's another yellow card. He's got to go. And Singapore now will have to play with 3 at the back maybe, or will they have someone to play back with them? They've got 3 central defenders, don't forget. Daniel Bennett very comfortable. And now Singapore may be quite content to hold on for the draw. First they've got to negotiate this free kick. This game could now take an interesting turn. Indonesia may just sense they have something on the cards here. Kim Yong-ha is being very particular about where the ball should be placed. Yeah, there's a terrible free kick. Will Singapore go into a bit of a shell? They've got 23 minutes to survive. Octavianus. Yes, I think at the moment they're going to be playing 3 at the back. Let's have a look. Oh, that's a poor clearance. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. I think it's a sigh of relief, really, from Safwan Baradin. They've just got to be a bit careful here, Singapore. That was a cross shot from Vendry. I think Singapore just a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. The fans are getting right behind Indonesia at the moment. That's 2 key losses today. Haris Harun now, and then the suspension of Irwan Shah. I think Singapore only took 5 defenders for this tournament. Issa Halim could play in a defensive role if required. In the next game, if Saiful Essa doesn't recover. We'll have to see what they can do. He's busy now. Surely the advantage is with Indonesia. They're winning the balls a bit easier now, Indonesia. Without that holding mid, remember they've got a very attacking lineup. They may just have to sacrifice Oh, that's a little bit lucky. They may sacrifice a striker. They may sacrifice one of the more attacking players, maybe Kyle Lamry, and bring on someone like an Issa Halim just to shore things up. They're lining up at the moment, Indonesia. Runs out of pitch there. Saralisa. Radi Abramovich had said it was an interesting team, Indonesia, like any team they face, but he said they respect them and they'll try to play the game their way. He said in any game, if you allow your opponent to do what they are good at doing, then you will be in trouble. You only have to look at Indonesia's game against Laos, because they allowed Laos to play and then they played. So they were reactive rather than proactive. He said we have played well against Indonesia in our games before, but they are all in the past. We must look at what is now and try to deal with that. Oh dear, that's fallen badly. Again, unlucky for Indonesia. Bambang Pamungkas just not tall enough. Not the best of headers back from Baihaki. Very, very lucky there, Singapore. Indonesia look a lot livelier all of a sudden since the sending off. It could be just what they needed. Shot from distance, spills it and recovers quickly. Is one. He's telling his defence, close down. Singapore are hanging on a little bit here. Vermansyah with the shot. It was pretty innocuous, wasn't it? He recovered quickly before Octavianus could get there. Indonesia now rampant. Irfan, yes, he is playing. Just not doing very much. Now, what will he do here? Radi Abramovich, what will he change? He had pointed out, remember, he was so happy with his holding midfielders, Haris Harun and Mustafik Faruddin. Called them responsible and hard-working, doing a really good job. And he was happy with the others being creative. And he said that's the base of the team. They can dictate the game, make the defence of the team. And he was happy they do excellent work with Shijai, Sharon Sulaiman, and Charlie coming out well in front. Oh dear, did he just take too long? Is that a penalty? Oh my gosh, it's a dive. He's ruled it a dive here, Ali Hassan. It's a yellow card for Kyle Lamry. I'm just wondering whether Kyle Lamry should have taken a shot earlier. He's sent a Singapore playoff. He's now booked another one for a dive. Singapore are racking up the cards here. Well, we haven't had the benefit of a replay yet. The referee was in a pretty good position. Oh dear, it's just going bad to worse for Singapore, but they were in a really good position there. Should Kyle Lamry have passed that ball earlier? Here is Shadan. That's a good ball. Here's Charlisak. He's done well. Tries to get that in for Duric. This falls nicely to Kyle Lamry. Daniel Bennett. Is that too much on the ball? Oh, he came close there. Sharilishak with Wayu committing himself in no man's land. That's what they're good at, these crosses. Absolutely fluffed his lines there, Wayu. Well, Sharilishak could only head over into an empty goal. Singapore showing they still have plenty of attacking prowess despite being down to 10 men. Well, he did say the group ethic is very good at the moment. Radi Abramovich, it looks like it's Novan who's got a problem here. Probably would have taken a knock from Sharilishak. Well, I think they're going to go defensive here. Carol Lumley goes off. I think he's a little bit upset. Chu Lee comes on, a more robust player. He can play on the left or up top as well. He's a more physical presence, Chu Lee. Rashid also coming on. Rashid Bakri. He replaces Octavius. That's an interesting move. He looks a little bit disappointed, doesn't he? I think he wanted to stay on. And I think he was actually one of the more devastating players, but he also was on a yellow card, perhaps not wanting to take the risk. Neil Maizar. So 15 minutes more, also, including some added time, that is, for Singapore to hold on here. But to be fair, when they have gone forward, they look like scoring more than Indonesia do at the moment. Bennett committed himself, perhaps overly so. As Mambu did well. And to Singapore's credit, they are being positive. Just 3 at the back at the moment. We're giving this a real go. Indonesia will kick themselves if they don't take advantage of this situation. Well, Sharilishak had issued a rallying call to his national teammates. He said that they didn't want to take anything for granted, even though Indonesia was held to a draw against the minnows Laos in that first game. They did concede it wouldn't be an easy match because of Indonesia's speed and the physical presence, which I actually haven't seen that much of today. And he also talked about some of the few good quality players they have that they had to watch out for. It's a yellow card for Taufik. I have to say, both sides today have conceded some really silly yellow cards. Unnecessary ones. The referee is certainly very strict. Well, pay no attention to that graphic you just saw. It is not Shijai, it's Taufik. Wrong team for a start. Well, Shijai's missed the tackle. That's poor from him. Could there be an overlap? A chance here for a shot on goal. That's poor. Looked like Vendry who had the opportunity. Yes, it was Vendry with the shot. Just going back to Sharrell, and he called on his teammates to channel the same level of energy that they showed in their game against Malaysia. He said his players are mentally focused and ready for the match, and he hoped they would play their hearts out and give the same level of commitment like they did against Malaysia. And so far, they've not lacked in commitment. At times, maybe in the first half, a little overconfident by Haki Kaizan, who's one of those guilty of that overconfidence, has echoed his captain's sentiment, saying that Indonesia would be a tough proposition, it wouldn't be an easy game, and of course that they respected their opponent like any match. He said they would work hard and keep a positive mind going into the match. It's a ball across the goal. Safwan Baradin gets there first. Shujai now with the throw. Chuli making plenty of movement. Gets the ball. Not many bodies in the box. It's a decent looking cross. Off the crossbar from Alexander Duric, who's really normally quite good at those. That's been the best chance of the game so far. Point blank range, more or less. But Duric couldn't score. Great cross in low from Shujai. Here's Novan with his own cross. Bambang Pamungkas was threatening. It will be a corner. This is the first chance. You'd have bet everything for Duric to score from there, right in front of goal. He is so good in the air. That's a gilt-edged opportunity. I wonder if that's going to be a turning point here. The chance that Singapore did not take. He's not had a best of games today. Alexander Duric. He would have made up for it with a goal. It looks like he's trying to help out a little bit in defence here on the right hand side, Shujai. Going for goal, just unnecessary. No way Rashid is going to score from there. Does apologise for that immediately. Well, Nil Maizar had said he was confident his side could get the result they need to put them back in the running, and he said he knew what Singapore's weaknesses are, but he didn't want to reveal his plans. I'm afraid so far they haven't really threatened as much as they should, particularly with Singapore down to 10 men. Duric still at it, coming deep here. Bennett also there. Here's Irfan. No foul. Looking for the counter-attack. There's definitely a trip there. Sharrell Ishak. He's now off his bench. Chuli brought down by Irfan rather. He's not happy. Now looking for another aerial ball. Oh dear. Didn't even bother to chase after it. Indonesia prepared for this tournament with plenty of friendlies, as did Singapore, of course. Started off on the 26th of September, a 5-0 hammering away to Brunei, a real minnow in Southeast Asian football. They have barely competed in any AFF Cups. Oh, there was a through ball there for Sharrell Ishak. Didn't take it, Chuli, but they do get a free kick. Foul conceded, I think, from Rashid. It's a couple of silly fouls from him so far since he's come on. After that 5-0 beating of Brunei, they had another friendly against AFF opposition Vietnam on the 16th of October, goalless away. At home, a surprising win, a surprising 1-0 win over East Timor on the 14th of November. East Timor, another real minnow. Very, very surprising there by Indonesia. Then they had a friendly against Cameroon on the 16th of November. That was a good result, goalless draw. And finally another disappointing result, a 2-2 draw at home to Laos on the 25th of November, rather. As you know, that was the one in the... on the line! Decent from Chile, but not powerful enough. Yes, that 2-2 draw against Laos in their first match. So really, in the last 5, they're unbeaten. But they haven't been very convincing. 5 minutes or so left in this game. And to be honest with you, despite Singapore being down to 10 men, they look the more likely to score. I think they'd almost feel this is 2 points dropped at the moment, though with 10 men they should probably be just happy to take that point and head into the last game knowing that a draw would be enough. That's if they can hold on for another 4.5 minutes plus added time. This is Andik Vermansyah, who's... oh dear, there was very, very little in that. And will Shujai get a yellow card? Very little. Absolutely nothing, in fact. He just showed his back. And Vermansyah just fell over. Oh, has he got a booking? Yes, he has. Well, they are racking them up. I think it's 5 yellow cards for Singapore right now. Got to be careful now about suspensions. Vermansyah. Oh, it's gone in! Unbelievable! He meant it as a cross. And it's gone over, sailed over the head of Iswan Mahmud. That was a bad mistake by the goalkeeper. Off a very poor free kick in the first place. That probably shouldn't have been awarded. But that doesn't matter because Indonesia have given themselves a lifeline here in the competition. Look at Iswan Mahmud. Completely misjudged that. Well off his line. I don't think he meant to do that. Andik Vermansyah, but he'll just take it. And Indonesia on the verge of some history here, if this scoreline remains. Singapore obviously want to get on with it now, and they will feel aggrieved that they gave away a silly free kick. And also, don't forget that chance from Alexander Duric. Well, he hasn't brought on another striker. You'd think right now it might be worth having the extra man on. Here's Charles Ishak. That's well defended. Here's Shujai. We might have to just be a little bit more adventurous now, Singapore. They'll throw everything into this. Surely Fazal Nawaz might want to get some time on, extra striker. It's a poor cross. They'll take their time now, Indonesia. Well, the fans getting excited, but it does mean, don't forget, there's still plenty of work to do. Singapore go into a relatively easier game against Laos, knowing a draw may be enough. It depends what happens. If both Malaysia, Indonesia draw 1 or a draw, Singapore draw, then it comes down to goal difference, and that's why Malaysia have to get plenty of goals today against Laos. It's the first goal that Singapore have conceded in the tournament. No one has a clean sheet anymore. There's a bit of urgency now from Singapore. Well, this referee is extremely strict, very pedantic. Singapore will feel he's gone against them. Really didn't see too much in that. As I said, Singapore have not lost in their last 6 AFF, and even non-AFF matches. Include some friendlies as well. And they're still unbeaten in their last 6. 5 added minutes. Still time for Singapore here, who warmed up with a loss 2-0 away to Philippines. Disappointing for them, 7th of September. First time in, I think, 20-30 years they lost to the Philippines. A 1-0 draw away to Myanmar, another disappointing result. They bounced back with 3 wins on the trot, or 2 wins, sorry, beating India 2-0. Pakistan 4-0 in between. Again, the Philippines beat them, so there's not been the best preparation. Oh, it's just too slow. They're getting annoyed and frustrated with each other. If we look at the last 6 games, no wins for Indonesia against Singapore. 3 draws, 3 losses. Indonesia have scored 6 goals. Singapore scored 11. The last time they played was a friendly in 2009, on the 4th of November. Singapore won 3-1 at home. They last met in the AFF on the 9th of December 2008. Singapore won 2-0 in Indonesia as well. It's been a long, long time. That's a proud record that Singapore have. But with 10 men, having the chances they've had, I think they'll feel rather annoyed with themselves. And Ismail Mahmoud is really the guilty party, I'm afraid. Off his line. We're into added time here, but there will be an injury issue. So they want to continue. Finally put the ball out of play. I wonder if it's cramp. It certainly looks like it for Vendry. Actually, he took a couple of... trying to lift his leg against Mustafik there. He's hurt himself in the process. Well, Singapore play Laos in the final game on the 1st of December, this Saturday. And at the same time, Malaysia will be playing against Indonesia. Vital game. Remember, it looks like, and I'm just predicting, it'll be one of Malaysia or Indonesia going through. Because I think even if Singapore drawed Laos, which is a possibility given that they drew with Indonesia, it may be enough with their goal difference. Oh, this could be another goal chance. Oh dear. He kicks it out of play. Shahrul Ishaq couldn't get there quickly enough. Here's Safwan. Shahrul on the ball. Gets the corner. We're into added time, remember. This could be one of the last few attacks. Can Singapore drag something out of this game? We've got that proud record, remember. That's a terrible corner. They get another chance at it, another bite of the cherry. Shannon Sulaiman's got to do better than that. They take a short one this time. That's better. Well, they left themselves massively exposed here. Andik is going to beat Daniel Bennett for pace. Could he make it 2-0? Oh, he's done very well here. Iswan Mahmood. Not a penalty. That came almost down. They had to take a few chances there, Singapore. Daniel Bennett did just enough, perhaps. Credit to Iswan there. Well, they were trying to get a penalty and Iswan was furious. Corner flag time for Indonesia. No surprises there. They get the throw in. Forward nicely. Vendry with the effort. Should they have just pumped the ball back? Surely. Another quick foul. Oh, this referee has called time on the game in what has been a bit of a stop-start second half, but Indonesia have got the 3 points which they so desperately needed, and they have now set themselves up a real chance to get into the next round with that late goal from Andik Vermansyah. Heartbreak for Singapore. They've lost their proud record against Indonesia in this competition. Off a free kick, some blame must go to Iswan Mahmood, but it means a final score here at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. It's Indonesia 1, Singapore 0. Thanks all for joining us. We'll see you again soon.